Hi guys, it's Clarice, and as promised, here's the next tutorial, part 2 on how I do big blooms on this. And for the big blooms that I'm going to do here, I have decided to do peonies. And I have decided to do pink ones just to complement the purple and the blue. And I think a light pink will look nice, but I'm just trying to figure out which of my reds is more warm. So that's one. And here's the other. So I think it's more this one, which is this bright red. So I'm just gonna blend some color, and I don't really have a white. So the way I'm going to do this is by ensuring I have a lot of water, and then when I do layers on top, it's not too crazy. But I like how this blends. See how that blends? You can get some really nice effects. Create a peony right here, guys. How about that? Woo. Distraction. Okay, so first things first, colors I'm using are my red, and I'm going to use a yellow for the center. And what I'll also use is some green, and yeah, I think that's good enough for now. Okay, so brushes that I'm going to be using are, I'm a little bit wary of using my mop brush because this is a small painting, and usually when I use the mop brush, like my flowers tend to get really big. But it really does give me the best effect when it comes to like nice full blooms. So I'm going to give it a shot and really try and control how I use this brush. And then I'll use my number 4. And I just have the number 6 round in handy. So I'll just keep that on standby should I need it for anything. So I'll start off with the center. And the center of it is usually, actually, you know what? It's usually like a mixture of brown and yellow. So I'm going to use a lightish brown that's kind of like this. And sorry, I don't know the names of the colors, guys, but it's, if you're wondering what colors I'm using, I get this question a lot. It's the St. Petersberg White Knights. So I'm just going to get some of my brown first, and I'll go, so this is where I've determined my flower is going to be. And I'm just going to go in the center and just do a little bit of dabbing very lightly. And then I'm just going to take some of the yellow and then go just add a little bit at the center where I've dabbed. And I'm going to do a dotted line around it, so to speak. And this is the line that I'm going to touch when I'm creating the petals. So now I have this brush, which is my Squirrel Mop Brush. Wish me luck. I'm going to get some color from here. I just want to make sure I mix it up just to see how that looks, the intensity of the red, before I lay it down. Because once I put it down, there's no going back. So I'm okay with this intensity, so I'm just going to go ahead with it. And I'm just creating light strokes, leaving a lot of white space right there. And I took some color off the little square thing, and I'm going to just lightly dab it in the center and just pull it down towards the yellow or the brown, whatever you want to call that, and then just adding more water to the tip of my brush. I'm just going to lightly do that. And now what I'm going to do is I'll take, actually before I do that, I'm just going to use the same and lightly kind of do petals around. Just arc circles. And then I'll take my number 4 with just water on it, and I'm just going to blend that. Actually, I'm going to take some red on it, some of the pink rather on it with more water, and I'm just going to because the key with this is blending and just making sure you get that you get that blend before it dries up, because once it dries up then you've kind of missed out on it, and so you don't want that to happen. Otherwise you don't quite get that seamless look and effect when you're creating it. To create dramatic effect, I would add a little dark of the red here and there, just so you can see some of the shadowy areas and some of the areas where it kind of the petals start. And yep. And towards the edge, I'm just going to very loosely try and end this cycle of creating petals. Otherwise it's never ending. So I just want to end this right here. So I'm just going to try and do that. As you can see, it's quite a big flower. But okay, so that's where I'm going to end it and not touch it anymore. And now I will go ahead and use, I just want to blend this end right here. Sorry. I know I said I won't do it again. Sometimes, seriously. Okay, so we're good with this. I'm not going to go ahead and do any more except for this. Sorry, I lied. Okay, there we go. Now I am going to use the same Squirrel Mop, and I will use some of my green combined with the brown, and I'm going to create some leaves. While this is damp in this corner, I'm just going to go ahead and create some very loose looking leaves. The leaves for peonies are like in threes, and so it's just really easy to create them, especially when you're doing the loose style. So I've created it lightly using a mixture of the brown and the green, and then I'm just going to go ahead with a more intense green on the tip of my brush and just add it right there at the ends of the leaves, and also I guess the stem of the leaf, and it just gives it some nice dark and light variations. Feel free to add a little bit of here, like things of green here and there. I'm going to do that here as well. And just to give it that variation, color variation, just the tips. I'm just going to give it more of a green color and then end that there. And then I want to do one more flower, or like a complementing bud at the side. So we're doing the same technique, except this is going to be a sidewards flower. So using the brown, actually, you know what? We don't need the brown just yet. We just need the red to begin with, or the pink. And here's what we're going to do. So we're going to take more water, less color, and just do a sideways bloom. It's very light, I know. So you want to do one stroke to begin with and really lay down your brush, and then do another one on the other side. So it's almost like wings. Then get a little more of the color. That's too much color. Let me blend some in with water and just blend it in here. So you just want to have it like a cup and just do light strokes here and there. And then for the top, you just want to have light, very light strokes at the top. And you don't want to overdo the top too much. So just, I've taken a lot of the color off. I'm going to take a lot of the water off and just kind of lightly dab it. So it's like hints of petals or impressions of a petal. And then I'll take a little more of the red and put some there, put some there. Just maybe add some at the edges here. And now just spread some at the top so it looks like it's flowering. And now I'm going to take the number 4 and taking some of the brown first. I'm just going to add a very tiny hint of it there. And then taking some of my yellow, I'm just going to add a little bit here and there so you can see a hint of the center. And then sometimes it's kind of nice to add some hints of yellow here and there at the side if you want. It blends well with the pink, I find, and it just looks nice. And then to finish it off, you can add more leaves using the same variation of the green and the brown. I'm just going to go ahead and mix them up and first lay that on here and then just add a little bit of green on here just to give that like divider sort of feel here. And then I'm just going to do one here. And then there. And I'll also do some over here. And remember what I said about adding darker color at the tip, just to sort of have that nice gradient feel to it. So it's like dark here and then light at the bottom. And then you can have some that are just dark overall or just light overall. It's really up to you. The key is to make it all look very loose and not fully defined. And then you're good. I'm just going to do I want it to do a bud. So I'll do that here. I hate when my stems come out thicker than I imagined. Just don't like that, but what are you going to do? So I'll just use some of the red that I have, blending it with my Squirrel Mop number 4. And then taking off all the water, I'm just going to go ahead and sorry, taking off all the color, I meant, not water. Just do that. All right, and then now that I still have some of this green stuff, green paint on here, I'm just gonna, I don't like how thick this has turned out, so I'm just gonna draw like a leaf on here and here. So it kind of masks it a little bit, if not a lot. And just do that here as well. And I just wanted to touch the petal a little bit so the green could kind of flow in. And I like that. Just gonna add some tiny, tiny details here and there. And yeah, guys, this is how I do the really quick and loose peonies. So stay tuned for the next tutorial where I will continue with another flower at the top. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please feel free to write any comments if you have any, or questions in the comments below, obviously. Or as per usual, I always mention my social media. I am also on Facebook and Instagram. Feel free to find me. I post a lot of stuff on there as well. If you have any questions, I'm available there, whatever's convenient for you guys. And if you found this tutorial helpful, please share. I really appreciate all you guys watching and subscribing. Thanks so much for your time, and we'll chat soon. Bye, guys.